Hello everybody, welcome to Thursday update stream. You got another Ben edition here today. Thank you for joining me today, as always. For the people that show up every single time, I appreciate it. You're the most informed people in the whole black site sphere. Yeah, got a few updates to run through today. Lots going on. We'll talk about some Mobile Arms stuff. We'll talk about where all the production's at. Talk about Luna, talk about all the different games. If you are new here, we do this stream, we try and do this stream once a week, at least a few times a month, where we kind of just run through what's been going on here behind the scenes and what's going on at Blacksite, some things to start looking forward to. We'll chat a little bit about Halloween, which is coming up, and maybe some of the things we might have on the plate for the rest of the year. This stream is not sponsored by Coke. The first thing that I want to get into today is Mr. Media Matt. It's his last stream with us today. Come on and say hello, Matt.
Hello.
So to give you some context, Matt was actually employed by not Blacksite Studios.
Right.
And his time was contracted to us by this other company, and he worked here out of our office, and we got some great, some amazing edited content, and he ran all of our streams and stuff. So Matt is moving on, and he'll be around doing some contract editing for us, maybe even the odd stream here and there. So he's not going for good, but he's going from us day to day. So
yeah. So to be clear, like this, tomorrow is my last day full time here, but that doesn't mean goodbye.
No.
That means like I'm still going to be around sometimes for contract work if they want to, and if I would stay full time, like I'm sure like. They could, but it's just like, costs and everything. But
yeah, so this was an unfortunate decision made by this other company, which we have to respect, and we're just trying to do the best we can. So take a moment to thank Matt in the Discord or in the chat for his amazing content that he's been producing for us. We're sure that we'll be seeing plenty more of it. Just might not be as much for the remainder of this year.
And one more thing is that on the Discord channel, at some point, I'm going to have a link to my other channel, which you can see other content that's in the pipeline. If you're a fan of Behind the Game, particularly like with Hametsu, that stuff that I've been working on, then you might enjoy it. It's more like documentary focused.
Yeah, cool.
So
awesome. Yeah, make sure you look out for that, and you can support Matt directly. So thanks, Matt. Everyone, like I said, take a moment. If you liked some of his content, let him know which was the stuff that you liked the best. He's done a bit of everything, really. You started off doing like behind the game stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to end with a bang for the mobile arms video that we did.
Yeah, that one was really good. And you got, I don't know, like half of the next one done, and I'll probably finish that one off. So. Big thanks to you, Matt. Thanks so much for all your hard work.
And thanks everybody. Like, this is the most support that I've gotten for anything from both you guys and Blacksite. Like, this has been by far like the best gig that I've gotten. So also a big shout out to Daniel, the one that works here. You've seen him sometimes. He's also a good friend of mine. He was the one that helped refer me to this job. So a big shout out to him. I never would have gotten this position if it wasn't for him. And
Daniel keeps recommending a lot of people, actually. Daniel's like our Indeed service. Anytime there's like a job here, he's like, well, I know this person, and they usually work out really well. So thank you so much, Matt. And I guess we'll get on with the rest of the updates. And like I said, it's not the last. It's the Media Matt right there.
Okay.
I'll give that to you. So yeah, if you want to... like I said, Matt's going to post a link to his own YouTube channel. He's going to be doing some content stuff, so you can check out what he's making. I'm super excited about that. What type of documentaries is it going to be?
It's more like video game focused, so like fighting games and stuff. So
yeah,
if
cool.
You're into that stuff, then
if you're into fighting games and anything like that, then we'll make sure to let you know when that goes live. So if you like Matt's content, you're going to be getting more of it, for sure. All right, well, I guess let's dive into Mobile Arms, be the first one. So, had a chat with my boy Connor this morning about Mobile Arms. It launched on Tuesday, and people are still trickling in, but it's not funded yet. Had a couple of people ask me privately if we were how we felt about that, and I think that I'm just going to take a moment to kind of explain a few things. So sometimes when companies put up crowdfundings, the number that's the funded goal isn't the real amount that they need. Sometimes it is, and I'm sure a lot of the times it is, but I know for a fact that sometimes it isn't, and a lot of people would probably agree with that. $40,000 is the goal for Mobile Arms, and that is a real number. We do not play those types of games with crowdfunding. And the reason why I just wanted to bring this up was sometimes when campaigns go live and they don't fund super quickly, the company will cancel it and pull it. We are not going to do that. Mobile Arms is going to run for the full 16 days. If it doesn't fund, it doesn't fund. And all we can say is, we can do some type of post analysis on that. We are so close. I think we're at like 32,000, 33,000, I think. We're very close. And we feel in 14 days that we can get it funded. Obviously, it's a bit of a bummer that, there we go, $33,098. We're like almost to 200 backers, which is a pretty awesome number. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who has backed Mobile Arms. A ton of people jumped in, and honestly, the support that it's gotten already we're really thankful for that. But I did just want to clarify, because there was a couple of people that messaged me and they were like, are you guys going to pull it? And I'm like, no, we're not. I mean, literally $40,000 is what we need to print all the boxes and the books. That is our funding goal. And we are really committed to that. We're really committed for Corey to get this box made and for him to have his dream starter box for Mobile Arms. And I think that even though it's not funded yet, we've got 14 days to fund it. So we got plenty of time. And I think that I just wanted to clarify that, because I'm sure some people have been wondering, like, oh, it's not funded yet. 40,000 is all we need. If we get $40,001, then that's, Connor and I are super happy with that. Obviously, it'd be great to get $1 million or something crazy like that, right? Who wouldn't want that? But I did just want to clarify our stance when it comes to crowdfunding and the way we kind of run our business. For full transparency's sake, 40,000 is a real number. That's what we need to make it at a really good margin. Get a bunch of them printed, get them shipped, get them fulfilled to you guys, and I think I'm pretty positive that we can get there. We just need to, over the next 14 days, just see how it goes. I think that the people that jumped in super fast, and it would be really nice if we could get it funded sometime in the next, 5-6 days. That'd be great. And then maybe even a couple of stretch goals. That'd also be cool. But I think it's worth saying that 40,000 is what we need to make Mobile Arms boxes. So if there's any questions about if we're going to pull it, cancel it, that's not how we roll. But that said, Mobile Arms is live, and you can back it on Gamefound. There was also a very good question the other day where someone was like, how is this working with the other projects that you have outstanding and all that kind of stuff? And I think that is also a really good question. And again, we're a company that's a little bit different to, well, I guess I like to think we do things just slightly differently. We both Don't Look Back and We Played God are completely under control. Those are, I'm working on Don't Look Back stuff daily. The molds finished for the miniatures. We make a lot of stuff in-house. Specifically, We Played God, other than the books and the dice and the token sheets, which get contracted out to a printer. Everything's made by us. So they're literally out there making them right now. So in terms of like us launching Mobile Arms while we have some unfulfilled stuff, that's obviously up to the individual people to decide if they're comfortable. But I can tell you right now that I worked with Corey closely on getting Mobile Arms ready to go, and we kind of scheduled things out specifically so, it doesn't affect any previous projects. And I also like to remind folks that we ship things daily that are pre-orders and back orders, and there's kind of this whole machine of business running behind the scenes that even if there's not like a big public Kickstarter that's fulfilling, we fulfilled TNT, Hametsu Season 2, and the Lunar Plastics over the last few months. And those are 3 really big projects that we just launched on our website, but that would be kind of the equivalent of like a Kickstarter level fulfillment. So yeah, if there's ever any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the Discord. We're very transparent about everything that's going on. As you can see, I'm here in front of you today. And yeah, ask the questions and we'll be happy to answer them. But I think it's definitely worth mentioning that kind of stuff. So Mobile Arms is chugging along. We're so close. We're like 6,000 away. I'm hopeful that by early next week we can fund it, which would be really awesome. If there's any questions about Mobile Arms that you want answered, I can do my best to answer them for you. If not, the Discord's the place to be for that. Let's move on to DLB, I think, be what we want next. Miniatures are in, molds are approved. I don't know if I spoke about this last week, but there was one miniature that the hand was kind of messed up on it, and I took some photos and I queried that with reps at the factory, and they got that fixed, and they sent me photos of the updated one, and we approved that. So the mold and miniatures, those are approved, and they're in production, I guess. I have been very furiously drawing and painting hundreds of pieces of card art for the game. It's been a lot. Lots of new items, lots of new MOs and traits and environments, and the new stash cards that we have, which are like the double-sized item cards. A lot. There's been a lot. And I'm making some pretty good progress on that. I have like folders of photos of my own hand holding different props and stuff, which is typically how I work. Lots of kitchen knives and random things. And then I just plunder the internet for photos of interesting items, like, oh, if I need a cricket bat or something, it's just, I'll just get a reference and kind of just go for it. So yeah, the cards are kind of one of the big heavy lifts, I think, for that release. So I'm kind of just working my way through and just getting them done. So it's a lot to work through, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. Once I've got so I'm waiting till I have all of the cards done. I might show some off on next month's update, but I'd like to do like one image showing every new card. I just need to like finish some of them. So getting pretty close on that though. It's a lot of cool new cards. Honestly, some of them are pretty sick. Matt wrote some really fun and unique stuff, especially for the 2 themed like expansion decks. There's some really cool stuff in there. What do we got next? Luna. Let's do Luna next. Plastics have 100% shipped. If you got these little plastics right here, they have 100. You don't need to cut in close. It's fine. We've already showed those off. They've shipped, and if you are waiting on them, check your tracking information. Hopefully, they'll make their way to you over the next 7 to 10 days. RS3 books, if you have already got your shipment, you would have noticed a lovely little note in there. RS3 was unfortunately delayed due to some personal circumstances that Connor had, and which kind of delayed the development for Connor and myself. Unfortunate, but you will get RS3. We're going to split ship it at our cost. You won't have to pay extra. And obviously, if you would prefer a refund for it, please just reach out. We'd be happy to sort that out for you. But yeah, that's definitely in progress. And we're pretty confident by end of year we can get those shipped out. And we'll let you know. You'll get some notice when those are imminently shipping. So keep an eye out for that. I did speak to Connor because there was a few people that were kind of like, oh, how do I build my plastics? I'll tell you that Luna is not WYSIWYG. The rules are not WYSIWYG, so it's card based. Your units have what the cards say they have, and it means you can just build them however you want. RS3 is more like squad based. So the way it's kind of the design framework will work that it also won't really matter what they're equipped with. You'll kind of dictate your squads based on the specialist or the leader in that squad, and then that's going to dictate like what the squad has. So if you're worried about diving in and building the plastics and you're unsure, obviously you can ask additional questions in the Discord, but it really won't matter too much just because we're going to follow the same type of design concept that Luna has, which is just build what you want, and as long as the cards and the rules that you have are correct, then that's all good. And we honestly, I want to see people building the plastics. I want you guys to be building plastics and sharing them because I got like 5,000 of them sitting out in the warehouse, and I'd love to sell more plastics to people. So as soon as you got some pics, I'm like dying to see what people do with them. It's like I'm like really, really excited. So is Connor too. So, let's see, what have we got next? Avalon Rising. Avalon Rising, that's a big one. The beta rulebook for Avalon Rising went out officially the other day. The beta PDF, I should say, sorry. And it's a little late, so I do apologize. I've gone over some of the reasons for that. And we are getting very close with that, though. I finished all the, if you have the beta book, you would notice there's like a couple of blue boxes that I needed to drop some art in. That artwork's done. I've applied some of the last minute edits. Doug found a couple of errors that snuck through. And please, if you are an Avalon backer, I would love for you to give it a look over and see if you notice anything. Drop some feedback if you notice any weird little quirks or things that myself and the editor missed. It happens. Believe me, it does happen. If I don't really get anything super serious within the next week or so, I'll probably be teeing it up for print. First step for me is we print a hard copy sample. So I send the files, we basically get the deposit paid, and then the printer will send me like an actual physical version, like a one-off version of the book. And then that way I can just make sure that all of the page formatting's correct, the text size looks good, everything's right where it should be. My paper choices are correct and all that kind of stuff. Pretty big book, ended up like 240 something pages. It's a full RPG. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And I'm really excited to get that in everyone's hands. The editor is currently finishing off the zine expansions. Those get printed here in the States, so the turnaround on those is frankly like insanely short compared to like printing a book overseas and then shipping it. So it's the turnaround on that should be much quicker. But once I have beta versions of those PDFs will go out as well. But my main focus is I want to get the main book to the printer, get it printing, so then it can be done and shipped and we can get fulfilled as soon as possible. And that includes GM screen, I'm completely blanking. The standees, the card standees, those are done. The GM screen, I need to drop a few more pieces of text in. I started drafting up all of the quick reference stuff that goes on the inside for that. But all of the assets for that come from the book, so it's really just like, I made the standee pack in like 20 minutes because all of the art just came from the book and I'd prepped it already, so it was super fast. So that's it for Avalon Rising World. You will be able to order that. I debated about putting that up for late pre-order on the website, but I was like, I'm gonna leave that for now. Hopefully, I think once the books kind of ship and then fulfillment's starting to look a bit more concrete, then I'll probably do like a late pre-order on the website. But I don't really want to do that because there was a bit of a delay. I don't really want to mess with that yet, out of respect to the backers. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. Should be a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. There's like a lot of artwork in that book, and I had a lot of fun with it. So let's see, what do we got next? You can put general updates on. Whispers of the Deep is the next big one. I have been working on that book for the last, since Mobile Arms went live, I switched over and I've been working on Whispers of the Deep. Should have the layout ready to be proofed end of this week, early next week, depending on how I feel about the last 3 photos that I took today. All the text is in, all the formatting is done. I just need to drop the last couple of pieces of artwork in and the last couple of photos, so I'm getting super close on that. The cute little book, that one. I also had a lot of fun doing that. I could just keep making art for both Whispers of the Deep and Avalon Rising, which is funny because they couldn't be two completely different games, but I have a lot of fun making that stuff. It's like super fun. So Whispers of the Deep is getting very close. Production on the miniatures has begun. Yeah, I mean, it's going pretty well. So once I have the beta ready, I know I said summer, and we're getting to the very end of summer, so I do apologize. It's a little bit later than I thought it would be. But Avalon just took way more of my time than I initially had thought it would. And I had to get that done first. So getting very close. Very close. So stay tuned for that. If you're a Whispers backer, you can actually still order that too if you want to back late pledge on that, or late pre-order, I should say. What do we got next? General last chance MDF. We are getting to the end of the queue on that. Doug told me that those should be wrapping up next week. So if you are waiting on a last chance MDF, we are getting very close. The end is here. I do have some information to share, some classified information about the machines. If you remember that one of our machines just broke. One of the brackets broke, it wore down, it decided that it was done with work, and it just conked out on us. Normally, we would reach out to the supplier of these machines and get the parts. They said that they are no longer supplying those parts, which is great. So Connor has had to design and 3D print the brackets that we need to replace. He did that, and he was in today repairing it. And the first words from Travis was that it looked like it worked. The machine is running. He's running some test cuts. So pretty good, some good initial, fingers crossed. Throw your prayers out for, what is it, Striker Eureka is the name of the machine. They're all named after like robot things. So with that machine back up, we should pick up a bit of production speed, which would be nice. So yeah, thanks so much for everyone for being super patient on the last chance stuff. Honestly, I say this all the time, we really appreciate people's patience and understanding. I know sometimes stuff can take a little bit longer, but it always gets done in the end. And Doug's always happy to give you as much information as he can via email or on the Discord. So big thank you for everyone. And then regular back orders also just being processed. Alan ships stuff every day as it comes off the line and gets processed and shipped. Typically what happens is sometimes orders are held up because everything will be in stock, and then there'll be like one MDF piece that'll be waiting on it. And then once those come in, and typically it's like they get stocked and then it shows in the shipping system. It's like, oh, all these orders can now get shipped out. So shout out to the guys out there for keeping out all that stuff. I think that We Played God, I guess, is the only other one. Dinosaur stuff. We got dinosaur stuff. So Doug and I met today about that. Huge shout out to the playtesters for We Played God. Honestly, some really solid playtesting from that group. We cannot thank you enough for that. The game is in a really good place now. Doug's really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. And it seems like the playtesters, the feedback was really good. Doug made some changes. I can't remember if I talked about this last update stream. So during playtesting, there was a couple of elements that the feedback was, I would say not that it was bad, it just like wasn't as cool as it could be. Some of the like dinosaur behaviors and stuff. So I think what Doug's gone back in, he's gone back in and he's fleshed them out a little bit more. And then because he did that, it just needed like, we needed to do like a 2.0 playtesting round. The feedback that came in from that was that it was a much better game after those changes. So I think we're in a really good position. Doug's literally in his office right now doing this, typing away on his little computer. And we should be getting the manuscript off to editing early next week is kind of the plan. So we are, as far as our timeline, we are, I think, like a week late on getting that off to the editor. But I'm pretty confident that I can pick up that time during the layout. So as soon as that's edited, basically the manuscript exists right now as just a doc, like a Google Doc. The editor will edit that with Doug and fix all the mistakes, grammar, make some clarity adjustments, all that kind of stuff. And then that then goes to me and I put that in layout. And then after layout, it needs to go back to the editor and the writer to do another pass on checking the layout. And that's really to check my work to make sure I didn't copy paste things in the wrong spot. And there's always random edits. And then after that's done and edited, I'll make the changes, and then that's when the beta will go out. So yeah, everything is, so honestly, it's going really well on Dinosaur Land. I'm like super excited to do the layout for that game. I've got all sorts of crazy ideas. So I've got a big fat list on my computer of cool things for that book. Any idea when the Amity House will ship? That, I believe, should start cutting next week. We're aiming to ship that before our Halloween stuff goes live. That's the plan. So I would imagine very early October for that. You will have it in time for Halloween. I can promise you that. Even if I have to cut them all myself with my own two hands, we'll make sure that happens. I mean, unless all the machines decide to break or something, but anything can happen at this point. But yeah, that's in the, oh, there you go. Doug printed the MO today. So technically the MO is on the shop floor, and they'll start working through it. What else we got? Did I miss anything? Drop any questions you got in chat, folks, and I'll address them.
One about breach.
It was about breach.
Someone asked, here it is, if there's any chance we could get a campaign expansion.
So Matt and I are kind of a little bit unsure of what to do with Breacher. I'm going to be honest. Matt and I have got some ideas, and we've kicked around a few things, and there's already been some things that we almost kind of put into the pipeline. We're kind of taking a bit of time. I mean, Breacher's a pretty complete game. And when Matt wrote it, we didn't really do it with the plan that it would have a ton of support after the fact. There's some vehicle rules that he has that we're planning to put out. There's a couple of things. Really, the next Breacher release is probably going to be pretty heavily themed around a specific character. I won't go too far into, but we really want to try and, I think, and I feel like I'm speaking for Matt, but I feel like I can because I talk to Matt all the time and we often work on this stuff together. But like he's created this character for Breacher that we really want to write like a specific kind of narrative thing around, and kind of try and take Breacher in more of a narrative direction as we can. Because what we don't want to do is push it kind of more into the generic like moderns, because there's a lot of those types of games, and I think that we can eventually make Breacher a really unique type of game with some really unique type of characters. So Halloween. Our Tyler is just like Halloween. We got some Halloween stuff coming up. Don't look back. We're going to have something for $16.98 and something for regular DLB. I'm not going to say what they are, but Matt is cooking. And the other thing that we will most likely have for Halloween, it's not fully set in stone, is the new TNT expansion, which will be Mutant Cannibals. Joey has reworked the Mutant Cannibals, and they are, as of last night, he messaged me and he's like, give me another day and I'll have it ready for you. So that's going to go to the editor the second that we have it, and then that'll most likely go up for pre-order when it's ready. I can't say exactly when, but that's our hope, is that it'll be ready in time for like a Halloween October type vibe. But yeah, TNT, it's been, there's so much for TNT that we want to get through to update to the new version. And I'm really excited to get this first little expansion out, which I think will be really fun. What else we got? Any plans for lunar plastic vehicles like the rovers and such? I would love to do more plastics for Luna, and I'm sure we will at some point. right now, we would like to see, we need to see at least, I would say 6 months of sales data for the current plastics to kind of give us an idea of if it's even viable beyond what we have right now. While I would love to be reckless enough to just be like, let's do all these plastics for Luna, I don't know if we will yet. We just want to see how the sales go, and also if we can get a distributor to pick up the current kit. If you're a wargaming distributor, hit us up. We really want a distributor to carry our products. We worked with a consolidator in the past, and it was fine. Not going to throw any shade. It's just that the margins are super tight when you're working with a consolidator. A consolidator, for those that don't know, is I sell to the consolidator sells to all the distributors, right? Rather than me working directly with 1 or 2 distributors, right? We're at the point where we would much prefer to start building a relationship with distributors directly. Consolidators are fine, that they have a place, obviously. It's just the margins get a little tight on that with a consolidator. So we're looking at some options for the rest of this year and going into next year about how we can get our products out. I was kind of inspired because I was talking to Doug and Connor earlier about, I took Matt, actually, and Corey as well, on a bit of a grand tour of all the DFW game stores. And most of them that I went in there, they had copies of Hermetsu on the shelf, which obviously trickled in from the consolidator and the distributors that we were selling to before. So that was pretty cool to see. It was kind of like inspired me to maybe take another look at that side of the business. But it's something we really want to do more of. So if anyone has any leads and they want to reach out, please do. We'd love to chat with you. Talon says we get a headless horseman for $16.98 and do a flip. I'll make you a headless horseman anyway. It doesn't have to be for $16.98. Random thanks for all the Insta reels of my spammy pics. Oh yeah, no, thanks for posting them. Anyone that wants to see Schnitzel Mini's amazing cabin kit that he did, it's our kit, and then he took it and added like a ton of amazing stuff. Check out Instagram. And I think you posted some images of that in the Discord, right? I think. If not, you should, because it's amazing. They did all of these insane, like, they put like furniture and stuff in it. It was awesome. It was really cool. I love doing that kind of stuff. So it was really awesome to see. Well, I think that's, we're getting to the end of it. If there's any last minute questions, I'm going to take a single sip of my cola. Now that we're on the end, I'll just recap the big thing with Mobile Arms. It is still not funded yet. We are getting painfully close. Painfully close. I'm checking my phone religiously to see if there's any backers, and we would love to see it funded. We would. We're not going to cancel it. We're not going to pull it. 40,000 is, like, as I'll reiterate, if we get $40,001, that's literally all we need to make the product. So if you have any interest in Mobile Arms, if you're planning on backing, definitely back it, help it get funded. But I do just want to thank everyone who has backed already. Huge shout out to you. I know that there's plenty of, there you go, 200 backers, amazing. If you were a couple of people that trickled in, thank you so much. We're a small business. These are indie games. I know that there's some people that think that maybe we're bigger than we are. We're not. We're a very tiny company. Our games have a very small reach. So releasing these types of things is really important to help breathe new life into these games and to help them grow. So I just want to thank everyone who has backed Mobile Arms so far. I'm sure that there's plenty of people that back every game. I was on Reddit. Someone posted a Reddit thread, and it was kind of encouraging because it was on like the Miniature Skirmishes subreddit or something. And I always get kind of leery when I'm scrolling through and it's people talking about our games or Blacksite in general, because I'm like, oh no, what if they're like saying we're really bad or like they hate our games or something? Feels bad when you read that stuff. But the overwhelming, all these comments were people just being like, no, Black Site's really legit. Like, I own a lot of their games. They make it all, you know, in-house, and they're super above board. So if those were some of you people, then I really appreciate you and, you know, saying such kind words, and we really appreciate it. So I will hopefully be back next week for an update stream, but we may miss next week because I'm a busy man. As always, join the Discord. If you have any questions at all, please email us. Please drop it in the Discord. We'll always do our best to help you out. And thank you to all the Mobile Arms backers so far. We're at 200. All 200 of you. You're amazing. And oh, there was one last question. Release date for We Play God STLs. Getting pretty close on that. We are starting to formulate the final, what that will look like in terms of file distribution. It's going to be one of two things. It's going to be either directly on our website, or it's going to be on My Mini Factory. I'm getting the final costings on My Mini Factory. We'll see. So the second that I can release those STLs to you, I'm going to do it. So you can print and paint hundreds of dinosaurs. So big shout out to everyone who joined me today. Thank you so much. And we'll be here working away. And we'll see you next week, hopefully.